Hello Pisces, welcome to your timeless wave of love reading, where we discuss however the energies of one of the sister energies I read for, which is Bastet on this channel, would like to depict the story. Bear in mind that whatever brings you here in this very moment is in true form, whether or not Pisces is associated with you being astrologically a Pisces anywhere in your natal chart or the latter. Bear in mind that to gain access to her sister channel, check out the description box below, which will have several links, and not only how to access her channel, but to guide yourself through different various forms of content that I have. And you will also find my newly launched website that will give you access on how to book any of my services. I am 7th, aka Master 7th, that reads these energies for you. I am a master healer that provides remote wellness alignments and tarot intuitive insights such as this. Bear in mind that you have tapped into a collective reading. This is not a personal one-to-one reading that you and I have allotted time for. So it is important that you travel your discernment, taking all the bits and pieces that resonate with you within this reading. Leave anything behind that may not have. And remember that feminine and masculine energies are non-gender specific. However, femininity encapsulates both feminine and masculine energies. Masculinity also encapsulates feminine and masculine energies. All right, wave of love. All right, Knight of Wands with the King of Swords and the Ten of Swords. You're probably going to be put in a position in the next 3 months, whatever that may mean for you in terms of experiencing this, of backlash of arguments. It's going to be pressing on staying loyal to your inner truths and learning how to honestly speak about them. So this is trust versus honesty. They're very different from one another. And in many ways, honesty trumps trust. The ether would like to remind you that everything is a reflection off of one another. So everything is symbolic. And thus being symbolic, it has its own variations of appeal of perspective on how that symbolism invokes a trigger, whether that trigger swings in a pendulum swinging one way and it being negative, or swinging in the other way and it being positive. This lesson is an inner fight to learn the difference between the ego that's very hard for you to accept that you do have, and the inner inertia, where I would say that is your soul. And learning that the human experience is a transaction between the two, and the choices and where existential questions come in, and you showing up to each one of them defines your journey. How you show up is however you show up, or also don't. Queen of Wands. You're interested in the responsibility aspect of this type of feeling. You do want to move with a sense of purpose. Again, that's coming from outside external energies that are forcing you to really share your verbiage, your vernacular tongue. Okay. Like I said, you are willing to learn. You are willing to prove whatever makes sense since the beginning of the reading, and what has not got you to leave the reading before it's over. So something piques your interest. Yeah, something definitely is piquing your interest, and the way it can only be triggered is with external angst. People defending themselves, and you being maybe the person in that moment challenging them, which then challenges you. I do see that some of the aspects of the argument you feel that you are in lesser control. You may not like arguing. You may not want to face it. You may think, what's the point of it? We're not asking you to argue. We're asking you to learn what it means to affirm your inner angst and what does become triggered with what you don't like, and how you need to show up in expressing them. And finding a way that just because in that moment you don't want to argue, or you don't want to trigger a nuanced situation, you must revisit the situation and bring honesty to it, which will then cause this energy to mature. A sense of responsibility and accountability, because things need to start adding up. Things need to start adding up, and however they add up to whatever they add up, they need to make sense. And the only way they make sense is to whatever needs to be added up to that which of you will admit, well, that makes sense. That's your own inner journey. That's your own dialogue of, let's call it destiny. Let's call it destiny. Yeah, let's call it destiny. Ace of Pentacles. You know, I'm hearing exactly, you know better. Things have to add up, right? Things have to add up. You know, bottom of the deck, High Priestess, 7-11. This is your card that triggers love, Venus. This is the card that will help you release Earth, growth. And this will have you wait and see and anticipate, Taurus, Savor. That seems to be all that I have for you. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space, and may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.